I just want to give you some tips to make it feel approachable, doable, to make it easier and actually fun. Because I know that when you get up there and when you open your mouth and when you start singing and when you connect with your heart and when that heart connects with your audience, you will fall in love with singing all over again, and you will remember why you started in the first place. Welcome to Reawaken Your Voice. I'm Lainey Prendeville Crawford, holistic voice coach, singer, song weaver. I believe the song in your heart holds medicine for yourself and for the world. And yet too often, something happens along the way. We shut down our voice and our song goes unsung. Whether you stopped singing years ago or have always harbored an unrealized dream to start, if you're ready to finally give voice to those unsung songs in your heart, then take my hand as I guide you to free yourself from the inner critic, reignite your creativity, find your courage, sing with confidence, and reawaken those dormant parts of yourself aching for a revival. So dust off your songbooks, tune up your guitar, bust out your singing bowls, your shakers, your drum. Actually, all you really need is your voice, your breath, open ears, and an open heart. Let's play. Hey friend, has it been a while since you've been up there on stage? I've definitely been there, and I'll be there again, because this is just part of the vocal journey. You know, we go through different seasons as we open up to the music inside of us, but also as we move through the creative process. There are different stages and phases, and sometimes we are percolating or incubating ideas. And, you know, sometimes we're in these periods of silence, going inward. Sometimes we're in really busy seasons of life and, you know, projects get put to the side. Sometimes we are moving forward with such momentum that we're singing and performing on a regular basis. Just we're out there in the world, and the energy is moving with us. So, you know, sometimes it's simply the season we're in, and sometimes there are periods in our life when, you know, maybe we're hiding from the spotlight because we're going through some things. I know that was definitely my story after my father died. But, you know, sometimes there's an unwelcome disruption of your regular practice due to things that are totally out of your control. And there are times when you intentionally decide to take some time away. Sometimes it's just that life happens, and that's okay too. All of these things can lead to a season of stepping away from the stage, being in a place of silence. Sometimes it even goes a step further where you're shutting down your voice and closing it off, and, you know, in some ways closing yourself off from the world. Sometimes you suddenly look up and realize that you haven't performed in ages. But no matter where you find yourself, it can be intimidating or even daunting to think about returning to the stage after being away for some time. You know, maybe you're thinking, I'm so rusty. My voice is out of shape. I feel like I've reverted and lost my confidence, and I don't even know if I've still got it. If you're having those thoughts, you're not alone. I've had all those thoughts. So take a deep breath. Remember why you sing. Remember what you love about it. And ease your mind, because, like I said, I've been through this multiple times throughout my vocal journey. So I have some simple tips for you, and perhaps they're just reminders, or perhaps they'll give you a new way of thinking about it. But either way, I pray that these will help you ease back into it with peace. So I'll be taking you step by step through the planning, the preparation, the practice, the performance phases of this process, and offering tips for each stage, like each step of the way as you get back up there on stage and you share your voice again. Because I really want to encourage you, when you're ready, to go out there and just get that first performance under your belt. Maybe this is your first performance in front of an audience. Maybe this is your first performance in quite some time. And so it feels like the first one. But these will apply no matter what. I just want to give you some tips to make it feel approachable, doable, to make it easier and actually fun. Because I know that when you get up there and when you open your mouth and when you start singing and when you connect with your heart and when that heart connects with your audience, you will fall in love with singing all over again, and you will remember why you started in the first place. So I have 4 tips for you to get back up there on stage and share your voice again. Number 1, venue selection. So this is the beginning where you're looking at opportunities and thinking of how you want to take that first step. So when you're choosing not just the venue physically, like the location itself, but everything surrounding it, the opportunity to share your voice. Look for a comfortable environment where it's low stakes, it's low pressure. You can just have fun with it. So don't throw yourself into the rapids, right? Like, start somewhere that feels like a gentle ride down a peaceful stream in a cozy canoe. You can imagine you have like all your favorite snacks and beverages, and you're just floating along leisurely. Oh, doesn't that sound nice? Like the sun is shining. Oh, so beautiful. Now, I understand that sometimes an opportunity arises that you didn't choose, that you didn't seek out. And, this can happen to be that initial performance opportunity. And in that case, you assess where you are, being realistic, but also connecting with your heart and asking yourself, is this something that I really feel drawn to do and called to do? In which case, you go for it if that's what your heart is telling you, and you just make sure you have the preparation, the runway to do it in a way that feels good to you. And if you are seeking out that opportunity, If you're looking for a way to dip your toe back in the water of performing and sharing your voice, putting yourself out there again musically, then make it easy on yourself. You don't have to go big right from the beginning. Make it feel cozy, like a warm hug. Perhaps it could be a familiar open mic night or a friend's special event surrounded by loved ones. I remember when I was first getting back into performing and opening up and sharing my voice again after years of silence after my dad's death. I started with singing some familiar repertoire for a few private events, like hosted by family. It was a very comfortable, very supportive, loving environment. And then I branched out to my creative community, locally performing my own songs for a few events where there were other things going on around me. So it was like all eyes and ears were not on me solely, the kinds of events where, everyone's doing their thing, but it's like the background music. That felt really good to me at that time, and so that's what I did. And then, I started participating in voice workshops, training programs where I had the opportunity to perform with others, like at the end of the weekend or the training. And then I also had the opportunity to be highlighted in solos. So it felt like a safe environment where we were all supportive of each other and learning together. But then also there was a time to open up and shine. And then I was joining in singing circles and eventually leading singing circles and then performing my songs for global audiences virtually, where I was the one in the spotlight, so to speak. So it's a process, and it also depends on your comfort level. You get to decide your pace and start where you are. As I always say, start where you are and allow yourself to grow into the space you envision yourself being. Number 2, repertoire selection. So this is where you get to choose the music you'll be sharing, the songs you'll be singing. Maybe it's one song. That's a great place to start. But whether it's one song or a group of songs, a handful of songs, choose something that you know inside and out. It can be just a short set list. Like, don't overdo it. Make it easy on yourself. Make it fun. Make these things feel inviting and welcoming to you where you are right now. So that means choose songs that are in a comfortable range of your singing voice. No need to choose songs that go to an extreme, whether that's the extreme height of your range or depth of your range. Meet yourself where you are, not where you were. There was a time when I was singing arias, operatic arias, with ridiculously high notes and crazy fast runs. I would not do that to myself if I had been away from that for a long time. I want you to be realistic, but also lead with your heart. Sing the music that's calling to you, but be realistic about where you are vocally and, where your voice is, like how in shape is it? How much have you been using it recently? And how much have you been using those high notes or those low notes? Make it comfortable. Keep it simple. Remember, this isn't about showing what you can do. This is about connecting deeply with your voice, with the music inside of you, and with the people who you are sharing that with. So make it something that you're excited about, something you love, not to impress people, but to enjoy it. Firstly, for you. Do it for you. Do it for yourself. Do it for your heart and your soul and that part of you that needs to sing. And you share that joy with others, and they are bound to receive something beautiful from your performance. Number 3, practice and preparation. So now that we've chosen the venue, the performance opportunity, the songs, the music we'll be singing, now it's time to practice it, to prepare for that performance. So what do we need to do? Well, get your voice in decent shape, but don't obsess over it being in prime shape. Warm up. Develop a warm-up routine that you're comfortable with, one that works for you. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be a 1-hour practice session 5 days a week. Do what you can with the time that you have. And, sing in the cracks of the day, just to be using your voice and moving your voice, moving that rhythm through your body, moving the energy through your vocal folds, your lungs. Just be singing and moving your voice. You practice until it becomes a part of you. It becomes second nature. So you don't have to think about it. You can just dive into and immerse yourself in the feeling of it, like in the moment. There's no overthinking about technique and, placement and where to breathe and how to move. It's all already in you because you've practiced it. You've practiced where to breathe. You've practiced the phrasing and, the shape of each vowel on that note within your vocal range. All of these things, you're not thinking about them in the moment. They've become part of you, so you can just go full on with your heart. Now, the night before and the day of the performance, you remember the basics, right? Get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, eat well, nourish yourself. But don't obsess or stress over it. Don't be so strict about these things that you're putting on pressure that doesn't need to be there. How do I know this? Because I've been there. I've put all the pressure on myself. And when I finally let go of that and just was like, you know what? If I want to have a cup of coffee the morning of a performance, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. There was a time where I wouldn't do that, But here we are. I've come a long way. So there's hope. Maybe for you it's something else, But remember, you're doing this because it feels good and it's what you love. So remember that. And then, of course, in the time leading up to the performance, like the hour or two leading up to the performance, whatever. Just make sure you arrive early to the venue to feel out the space, get set up, check the sound. And this can apply whether you're doing a live performance or a virtual live performance. Get to a place where you are present, you are comfortable, you are all set up and all ready to go. And if this is a place where you're not used to singing, you could check out the venue even earlier on, a few days before, weeks before, just to, visualize it so that when you're practicing, you can visualize yourself in that place. That can be really helpful too. So give yourself time and space to prepare with peace and with joy and with ease. Number 4, the performance. Focus on heart connection. So I kind of touched on this already, but release the worry of vocal technique or technical mastery. This is just your first performance back. You will have a next, and then a next one, and then a next one. And in a way, this is just an exciting new beginning. And you will get into the flow of it, and it will be like a familiar breath, a familiar rhythm. So remember that. This is just the beginning. So let go of any worries and just focus on the heart. Focus on expression and connection as your priority. And also you're doing this. You're getting this first one out of the way. Sometimes that's how it feels, and that's okay too. You're just going to move through it, and you're going to get to the other side. But if you can see beyond that frame of mind, you can actually have fun with this. Have fun. Make it enjoyable for yourself. Not stressful. It's easier said than done. I know very well the stress and the pressure of performance and the lifestyle that comes along with it. And that very much has been the journey that I've been on and overcome. Of course, there are butterflies, there are nerves, but the pressure, it's gone. I was putting it on myself that whole time. And the stress of it, it's not necessary. This is your heart, your joy, your life, that breath that moves through you. So if you can just envision what it feels like to be up there, opening your heart, opening your voice and singing, remember that feeling you get when you're in it, when you're in the flow of it, in the energy of it all. That's what you should put on repeat in your mind. Not the worries that come before a performance, because those are liars. Those worries, they are liars. Once you're up there, it's a different story. So remember that when you're preparing. In the months, in the weeks, in the days leading up to the performance, because I know the mind can kind of snowball. It can go in circles. It can wreak havoc upon your well-being, really. But anytime you catch your mind trying to take the joy away from you, the joy of singing and the joy of this upcoming performance, connect back to that moment on stage. Whether that be a physical stage or metaphorical stage, there are so many ways to sing and share your voice these days. So whatever that is for you, connect to that moment of sharing your heart, sharing your voice, and what it feels like to let the music move through you. That is the truth. The worries, the fear, the anxiety of performance, those are the lies. Yes, the feelings that arise are very real. I'm not going to discount that. I know the feeling of your palms getting sweaty and your throat closing up and you're shaking, physically your body's shaking, and your breath gets shallow. I know what that feels like. But that's when you take that deep breath, you connect back to the heart, and you remember that singing is an offering from the heart, not a performance that defines your self-worth. And this beautiful thing happens when we give from the heart. We actually receive so much more than we could ever imagine. It comes back to us and it fills you up. So don't let the anxiety and the worries and the fears leading up to the moment distract you from that. Remember the feeling of the freedom that comes with singing, with full-bodied expression, the energy of the audience, the music moving through you, giving you life. This is what you focus on when you are stepping into that initial performance after being away for some time. And you know what? The beautiful thing is that you can consider it a success in and of itself that you're getting back up there. The success is just doing it. It really is for this initial performance. It's just doing it. You're doing the thing. You are lubricating the gears. They may be a bit squeaky the first few times, but you're doing it. You're building momentum, you're smoothing out the kinks as you go, and you're getting in the flow again. Confidence grows through action. So focus on just collecting experiences and getting out there for the first time. Then do it again. And then do it again and again. But each time you do it, always the most important thing is to connect with your heart. Connect with your why. Remember why you love to sing. Remember why you're doing this. And it's going to come through your voice. So one more time, kind of bringing this all full circle. 4 tips to help you get back up on stage as you're preparing for that initial performance. Number 1, venue selection. Let it feel comfy, cozy, like a nice warm hug, and make it easy on yourself. Low pressure, low stakes. Number 2, repertoire selection. Choose a song or songs that you know inside and out, something that you're excited about and you love and just that feels good to sing. This is about enjoying yourself, enjoying the music. Number 3, practice and preparation. So give yourself the time and space to prepare, but don't obsess. Don't put any unneeded pressure on yourself. Just remember why you're doing this and remember to let it feel good. Number 4, the performance. When you are in this moment of performing, focus on the heart connection. Expression and connection are your priority. And have fun. And remember why you sing. And that could be a really great journaling prompt. Why do you sing? So I encourage you to spend some time with that question and, bust out your journal and your favorite pens and just set aside a few minutes to let that question sink in and see what arises to the surface. Why do you sing? That's what you need to remember when you are in each phase of this process. When you are choosing the venue, when you are choosing the music you'll sing, when you are practicing and preparing that music, and especially when you are up there singing, doing the thing. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening. If this episode unlocked something in you or moved you in some way, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're streaming this, and share this episode with a friend who's been praying for a vocal breakthrough. Until we meet again, keep nurturing that song in your heart. Lots of love.